by tradition.
Hold
And that
tight.
is hold tight, the 3-point collectors.
Next thing, Tottenham are whipping boys for Liverpool. You lot ain't beat us in how long? So look at your face. So when I
I'm about to roll.
they forget about when the council is going to take the free.
Oh, for real? When there was a little car park out front. Let's talk about six, baby.
Let's hold
Liverpool. And as much as we can talk about Mane is a good player, Salah's a good player, they're just not the X factor, bro. Don't forget about it.
I feel a bit. Do you know what we're doing here? Yeah,
Is
we're
it
doing
positions?
Positions are a bit mad.
Swap wings.
4-2-2-2. We're doing this Ralph thing, bruv. I'm like,
Swapping wings and
fam, I'm used to being on the left. They've got me on this Sancho thing, bruv. They're trying to.
You're playing like Rashford on the right hand side, boy. I hope you don't perform like Rashford on the right hand side, but boy.
I like Rash. You can't say that, man. We'll get into Rash anyway. I saw a lot of funny tweets on Rash. There's been a lot of stuff, but listen. Boom. Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live in the flesh, live and direct in effect. You already know what time it is. Myself, Maiwa, Culture Cams, obviously with the fresh stew and that.
You know.
Something like.
Yeah, something like.
It's been a mad few weeks. I know people are probably thinking, why is there not free chairs? Why is it 2-2? Obviously, right now we're doing a bit of load management. You get me? Obviously, annual leaves have been there. COVID is coming. We've got to make sure everyone's in tip-top shape. So we're doing a few rotations, but the few cast will be back next week. So hold tight throughout wherever you are, doing your thing, doing funny tweets, doing
People
funny shit.
congratulated you for your...
Yeah, thank you as well. Thank you for all the congratulations and that. I appreciate, you know me, I'm a private man and that. So I just, Jack to cut through, but I appreciate all of the love. I was going to say, on that note as well, before we go in, of course, the show is powered by Manscaped, STTV for 20% off. Make sure you get that. Christmas is around the corner, but I think if you order within the next week, you should be able to get your stuff. Free posting and packaging as well, right? Production. So do what you need to do, man. Listen, it's been a long 2 years. Treat your family, man. You don't get another family. Make sure you look after them. Remember, it's for the women as well. The women can get manscaped. So, you know, the one's there.
Can they?
Man,
I ain't seen that in the terms and conditions.
listen, we're trying to shift product. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to shift product.
Hey, it's like, remember when Yorkie were doing Just for Men? And they got pressed. They said they had to do it for women.
They tried to make a pink one. Listen, womanscaped, manscaped, it's man in it. Man and woman is
Different
the same
type
thing.
of times,
you know, that
boy.
one's there. So
Could never do that.
boy,
You get cancelled.
on that, yeah. Remember Soccer AM when Soccer AM movement? Like they used to have the cheerleaders, and then they had them wearing the kits. They was going way.
Wolf whistles. Used to hear all sorts.
Different time.
Different time.
Man. Now you can't even.
You can't
gotta
do
be
anything,
careful, man.
bro.
Listen,
Can't
they
do
tried to lock up our boy for one of his comments on radio. He was just a bit excited about
Oh.
what he did. He didn't even mean what he said. His just head was
God.
gone. But listen, hold tight, man. He knows who he is, isn't it? Let's get into it though.
I've got a gift for you though. I got a gift for you, you know. Because
swear.
obviously, but you know, Chris, fucking wedding gift and stuff.
Man said you got a gift. What's this?
Your wedding gift. You know, I mean, there was a lot of events that took place today. You know, the Formula One.
Yeah.
I know your favorite guy is.
Yeah.
Hamilton, so I thought I should get you a.
Oh, you're great.
I thought I should get you a Red Bull.
Red Bull.
In honor of Verstappen's win, mate.
So I said,
Sorry, I know your goat lost, but you know.
Honor gives you wings and that.
You know what I'm saying? Gives you wings, man. Gives you wings.
Let's not give them free promo. Send us a bag in, otherwise we have to use Caravan.
Verstappen hype, boy.
That was all mad. But let's get into football because there's a fair decent amount to talk about. So obviously, hold tight the 3-point collectors wherever you are. No matter how you got it, you got your 3 points.
No matter how.
That is the story of this week. Hold
Penalties
tight.
League.
Listen, the penalty or EPL English Penalties League. That was a funny tweet. Hold tight the participants. Hold tight the losers. Hold tight the COVID affected. Hold tight the teams that get knocked out of European league competitions. Hold tight the complainers, hold tight the disillusional fans, hold tight the centre-backs that are the biggest attacking threat for their teams, hold tight the performers that are looking for Gazy. There's a lot of hold tights in it. But something I wanted to start on, based off a match that was decided off a pen. Obviously, City, still top of the league, still doing the whole sort of, we're winning. But Raheem Sterling, someone that we speak a lot about on here, someone that you have some sort of, affinity to. I think we all do. I relate Raheem Sterling to our generation, to what Jermaine Defoe would have been to a few a bit older than us, if you get where I'm coming from. Like, everyone sort of feels like they can relate to him. But 100 goals club. 100 goals club. He's a nominee for Champ of the Week. In your opinion, how big is this in his career? Because for me, when I think about it, people said that, tap-ins, Man City system, he's scoring goals. But I've seen a player who was a speedster at QPR. I've seen a player that a lot of people spoke about his ability, but he actually went to go make it happen. Not any shade to John Bostock or people like that, but there's been a lot of people that have had a lot of stock.
That London hype.
Perfect way to describe it. A lot of London hype, and they haven't fulfilled. Big move to Liverpool. Those FA Youth Cup games, looking like a madman possessed. Does well at Liverpool, plays in different positions at Liverpool, has issues with Rodgers and whatnot, goes to City, evolves as a footballer. The Euros that just went, star player, 100 Premier League goals. I'll be honest, I don't think Raheem Sterling gets the respect he's due. I'll be honest, I don't think he does.
You know what, like, since you were going down memory lane, bro, for real, since you're going down memory lane, bro, the reason why I got such a respect for Sterling, right, is because, bro, I remember this guy's name being in the papers when he was 13 at QPR. Like, there's this flipping sensation.
Kid,
My closest friend was on the same team as him. He was on the right wing, Sterling was on the left, or whatever it was, vice versa. I've known about this guy for a long time. For a long time. Some of my close friends are still his closest friends. It feels like you can relate to someone like that. Yeah. He's one of us, and he's continued to represent us as well. But it's the fact that he's had such a hype from a young age. Because we talk about generational talents and stuff. I'm not going to say he's generational talent or anything like that. But what generational talents do have is the pre-hype. Yeah. He had the pre-hype of a generational talent when he was growing up. But you know what I mean?
Even what you're saying though, like there's, like with someone like Mbappe and all these guys, there's generational hype. But I feel like there's other hypes as well. Like we said, there's London hype. Yeah. But there's you're the one that's going to blow the door open for us hype. Yeah. And that's what he had, because it was like, again, QPR. Yeah. He was notorious sort of thing. And it's like, you're going to get that move and you're going to change our lives. That might not be generational, but that's a big hype to deal with at that age.
It's a big hype. And the thing is, like, he come through, and I bet if you were to sit and ask him, did you think you'll get 100 Premier League goals? He'll probably say no, because the way he came through, he was a good dribbler, pick up in positions, but his stats weren't the greatest stats in the world, but he was always seen as like an intelligent footballer, but quick. No one could envision that he would have become trying to get 20 goals a season type player. Then he's getting into the 100 goal club. Then he's being managed by someone like Pep, I remember when Pep came, because in his first season, when he had them dreads at City and he didn't have the greatest first season, people actually thought Pep is going to finish him.
Because that's when the conversation was, Son is going to thrive here. And
people thought it was like over for him. And then it ended up becoming his like trusted son. Sterling ended up becoming like Pep's trusted son. And to get 100 Premier League goals in 304 games, that's 1 in 3 record. For a winger, that's a good record to have. If you compare that to the wingers in the past, it's better than the wingers in the past. Now, if you look at now, you got Salahs and stuff. So people will look at it and be like, 1 in 3, it took him 10 years to do it. But you tell me how easy it is to be playing week in, week out at 17 years old in the Premier League. It's not easy. Not everyone is going to come and do an Mbappe. Not everyone's going to come and do Rooney's and stuff. Playing 17 years old for a Premier League football club, week in, week out, you're going to go through so much learning experience, bro. Like 90% of your games are just going to be learning curves. Go out there, your manager will probably tell you did well today, but he's not going to affect every single game at 17 years old. That's not how it is. People think of the anomaly too much.
Players develop as well. Like people say the whole Salah thing, right? We know what Salah had to go through before he came to the Premier League and was this forward. We're talking about 1 in 3 for a winger now. I would say Sterling is a forward now, but Sterling was an old school winger before. Do you get what I'm coming from?
Saying, yeah.
So he's gone from being this person that's out wide. He did the number 10 thing for thing, and now he's a forward. So he's had to transition with the times. He's now working with one of the maddest people in football, and he's developed. We know we can list so many people that have come underneath someone like Guardiola and just not been able to do it. I think if anything, him being able to still be in that squad, to still put up numbers, to still be the trusted guy, I've not seen him really falter underneath Guardiola, apart from the first season where he found it tough.
No, in the first season at City, it wasn't Guardiola.
It wasn't Guardiola. Yeah, first season at City, he found it tough, but after he's not faltered under Guardiola.
No, he hasn't. Well, last season people said it wasn't the greatest season, but the numbers weren't too outrageous.
But he was still impactful.
He tried to do his thing. It wasn't the greatest season, but this season he's come back this season. And the thing about Sterling, he's had a lot of highs and lows in his career. For such a young career, he's had a lot of highs and lows, media issues, racism issues. He was the one that was targeted when England played that game. I can't remember, and he did that when he scored or whatever. People saying he's not good enough to play for City. Brendan Rodgers saying that he's a money grabber or whatever, pretty much insinuating that. So let's not forget this guy grew up without his father died, bro. The guy grew up with trials and tribulations his whole career, fam. And each time he's knocking it out the park, knocking out the park. And now, do you know what Sterling's done? People were talking about he's finished at City. Now he's gonna leave on his own accord, bro. If he continues playing like this season, everyone's going to be stacking up for him and being like, do you know what? Okay, he's not done and let's see what we can do. If he left this summer, or it would have looked like, Sterling got pushed out the back door. Now, if he continues what he's doing, it's like, I finished that journey. I'm looking for a new challenge.
Exactly.
That's how he can leave the club. And that's massive
testament to him as a character. Like you talk about all the off the pitch stuff. I remember when a lot of stuff is said about what Rashford is doing and everything, and I remember when Sterling was putting himself out there. I remember when Sterling came out and said, listen, people are tossing like this. Yeah. But Phil Foden did this and nothing happened. A man was saying this stuff way before. I'm not saying that people are doing it now because it's cool. People are doing it because there's more access. But you need someone to do that first. He was doing that. People have said that he's not had leadership qualities. He's not been influential. I remember when Gary Neville came out and was like, I should have spoken more about what's going on in England. That was because of the whole Sterling stuff, remember? Like, he has been present on the pitch, off the pitch. Even the stuff to me, like the small stuff, like becoming the face of New Balance. Fam, I know what he's doing there. Like when people sign for New Balance now, it's gonna be like they're not thinking of Mane. It's like, oh, okay, cool, Mane, Raheem, and then all of these guys. You get what I'm coming from? Like he's positioning himself where, when it's all said and done, when you're speaking about English footballers, you have to discuss Raheem Sterling. And that is credit to where he's come from. Because if you were saying that a few years ago, when you talk about English players of all time and everything, Raheem Sterling, you'd be like,
You would. And the thing is, he's going to end his career as England's all-time scorer in the Champions League as well. He's already closing in on that. And the thing is, a lot of the time though, like even at how we're talking now, you feel like Sterling has like a whole story behind him. But one thing that you don't speak about is really his game. Like you don't really speak about his game because there's so much to speak about, but I feel he does deserve some credit about his game. But when you look at his game, people think it's so easy just to say, well, if you put this person in City, he's going to be much better. If you put this person in, everyone thinks that, but you got to have the IQ, you got to have the knowledge to be able to do that. We call Pep a perfectionist. If Pep is a perfectionist and he finds Sterling to be one of his most useful players, what does that say about that player? You can't just turn around and say Pep is a perfectionist, but the only reason Sterling plays is because of Pep. You can't say that because you got to go out there and deliver the instruction. It's as simple as that. So him being able to adapt his game, be one of the best back post players, that being able to score in the back post or understanding where to be in the box is an art, bro. There's so many players out there now
that can't do it.
You just mentioned Rashford, for example. Yeah, okay, different developments kind of cycles, but I wish this guy had that in the box instincts like Raheem Sterling or anything like that.
All the time, it was like, if people are calling him a back post merchant, or tapping merchant, Do you know how hard it is to be a tapping merchant? You know, when we talk about old school strikers, yeah, like foxes in the boxes and stuff, and we'll be like, oh yeah, they're just goal hanging. Do you know how difficult it is to be in the right place at the right time in football? You have to move around so much and eventually get in the right place. Look at your boy's Morata. How many times is Morata offside? Do you know how difficult it is to be in the right place at the right time consistently? And teams know that you're going to be there and they still can't stop you. You've got to give people credit for their skill set.
The thing is, like, it's all about how you apply your game to the men's level, because, you know, a lot of people talk about, Raheem Sterling's not technically good or anything like that. Bro, I've seen Raheem Sterling play against normal folk. So for people, he embarrasses people. But it's about how you develop yourself to the men's game, what you need to take. There was that good interview actually with on Judy with Enya Lico talking about some stuff of her game had to come out for other things to potentially be better, whatever. That's the same thing with Sterling. If Sterling wanted to, he could just become a dribble merchant. And how far could his career go?
But for
England,
England,
it might not be where it is now.
What do we see at the Euros? England, different things needed. Okay, cool. I'm not just going to rely on my
What did he? Most dribbles in the whole of the Euros?
Most dribbles in the most of the Euros. Creative passes. He was like the vocal point, essentially, of the attack. He was the driving force.
There we go.
At City, okay, I understand there's other players. I'm going to do this role. And that's one thing we always talk about Guardiola teams. I'll say this before we move on, that when you come in, you have to know the role that you're going to play. It's the same thing we're saying about Grealish now, that he has to figure out what it is that he does to bring value.
Perfect example, even like, so Grealish right now is in this process. We'll see what happens to him in a year or two. Yeah. But in this process right now, Grealish is showing it's not easy to play for Pep team. And you would have said, put Grealish in City, it's
a walkthrough, yeah.
You would have been like that. But then now you're seeing it's not easy to play for a Pep team. What I just don't really like rate is how kind of like, you look at someone like Pedro, who was under Pep at Barcelona. People sing his praises, say how intelligent he is. Pedro's one of the most intelligent players. Obviously, he's got the 2 foot. People will sing praises, but then when it comes to Raheem Sterling, you'll just be like,
tapping merchant.
you know, just, you know what I mean? You won't talk about that same IQ and stuff it took to play for Pep that you do with Pedro with Sterling. Why is that? I don't really know the answer for that.
No, we know the answer.
He's got to get given his credit. And 100 goals in the Premier League.
Massive achievement, man.
Good achievement,
we know a lot of players
well
that have tried and failed. So not failed, but they didn't reach that height. So
and think about the amount of chances he's
missed.
Flipping out.
And the thing is,
he could have been like 170 club by now.
When I think about it, because obviously it was a pen, innit?
Yeah,
it was a pen. I'm thinking to myself, he wasn't always trusted with pens. I've seen him.
I don't even know why he was on that pen.
I've seen him score free. Remember that when he was?
He took one free kick. Yeah.
I was like,
but he needs to do that again. Though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, in terms of his evolution, like how he's trusted in City, you got to respect.
But he was the captain, and then obviously he got removed as captain for Diaz, and there was a little hierarchy. City do that little hierarchy thing, and he got removed. So everyone was like, "Yeah, he's fully done out here." But this is what I mean. How do you? I said it to Fuad last week. You got when you're with Pep, or when you can't be too low, you can't be too high.
Yeah, if I got you got balance.
I know me, bro. If I had just come off a bad season, everyone's saying I'm leaving. I get back to where I feel like I should be safe and comfy. I just tore up the Euros, and man is saying, "Oh, by the way, you ain't captain no more. Like, we voted you out.
Your head will be finished."
Safe, bro. I'm talking to Ian, whatever Donny's on. It's not even with him no more. But I'm talking with my agent and dipping out of here. But him. He does his thing, and then now we'll see what happens in the summer.
Real talk. Speaking of agents and speaking to people and being done out and your head's gone, someone that I can't remember who keeps messaging me, but they keep messaging me saying that you have to bring up you have to bring up the thing you said a few years ago about signing the contracts and everything. We can save the contract talk.
They all want to blame Albert now, boy. But I gave them the breakdown 2 years ago, boy. 2 years ago, innit? Now here we are. You get me? They always come around. They always come around, boy.
Do you know what Arteta's moving like? Arteta's moving like, you know, when you're younger, and you get in trouble with your mom says you can't play out, and your friends are asking, so when is he gonna when can you come out? And Arteta's like, his punishment starts today. I said, what? This is the second time he's facing disciplinary. This is a guy who's not been firing on all cylinders. This is an Arsenal team that has been very heavily reliant on their youth, fair to say. The players that they shouldn't be heavily reliant on. What are production you can chip in? So what are thoughts? Because for me, if I'm being honest, I think I said it a few years ago, and I said, you can hate me if you like, but I've seen it happen with so many players of African descent. When they sign that contract, you will see a difference in how they perform and everything, because naturally there's a place of comfort, especially at Arsenal. If we're saying at Arsenal...
You got Partey. Partey was getting 30 bags. at Atletico Madrid. He hit the belly. He's bust his family. He's hit the belly. He's
his own dad.
He's fell in love with the London lifestyle.
His own dad said, "I'm wary about my son." His own dad said that before he moved. His dad said, "I'm wary about my son's move." And again, I'm not saying it because I'm just saying because I've seen this before. Like I'm from it. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like it can happen to anyone. If we're saying that Arsenal are not supposed to get in Champions League, Arsenal Europa League is calm. If we're saying that there's no expectations and you're playing players a lot of money and then they're not performing well, the young players are performing well and the fans are happy and parading that, I don't blame anyone for naturally being in a place that if they're doing that calm, I'm just cutting through. I don't blame it. I can see how that can happen to anyone. Aubameyang hasn't played Champions League football since he touched Arsenal, right?
No.
He touched Arsenal and he didn't touch.
Played Champions League since 15, 16. I don't.
They haven't played Champions League football. Aubameyang. Do you get where I'm coming from? This is a guy that was like in Europe, top goal scorer and everything, touched London, not playing Champions League football anymore, not competing for anything. Okay, got FA Cup and whatnot. He did the thing. He scored against Chelsea and everything. When you go from that sort of place to where you are now, it doesn't surprise me what I'm seeing. It doesn't surprise me at all. The question is, people are saying, should he be captain?
Look, I'm looking at Aubameyang's numbers. Like 22 goals in 18-19, 22 goals in 19-20. Then he signed the contract, 10 goals in 29 games last season in the league. And this season, 14 games, 4 goals. He's got 7 goals in all competitions this one. If you want to count when he scored a hat-trick against West Brom's kids, then fair enough. Them man were going to class the next day. So I wouldn't really include that.
Fam, I heard that them man were from the Pro unit.
Do you know what I mean? But listen,
good kids.
For me, you know...
Yeah, they're from the Pro unit. They weren't even good kids, bro. They're some bad ones.
For me, like... Yeah, Aubameyang, you can see a decline in his game. You can see that there's a little bit of a... I wouldn't say damaged relationship, but Arteta doesn't see him like you're undroppable, you're on this. He doesn't have him on that kind of pedestal that you think the captain really should have. And for him to publicly be disciplined twice publicly is massive. And the fact that Arteta, he doesn't come out and say, I don't want to talk about it, nothing. They will put out there, it's a disciplinary breach. How often do you see that?
Because remember last time you said that, why didn't you cover it up or something?
Yeah,
that's the conversation.
How often do you see that? And Granit Xhaka, he got removed as Arsenal captain after doing that thing that he did to the fans. They all booed him,
for
whatever.
Passion,
I still ride with Xhaka in that case, but he got removed as captain. For me, if I'm Arsenal, do I see leadership on the pitch from Aubameyang? No. Do I see a player that's even our best player anymore? No. Because you get a lot of people that just get given captain because you're best player, like Hazard at Belgium. You know what I mean? You're the best player, let's give you the captaincy. But do I see you as the best player that's dragging us through things anymore? No. So all I see is a player who's getting disciplined publicly and not delivering on the pitch. I'll be taking him off the captaincy, bro. You've got someone like, they're not really I'm not Arsenal fan, so I don't know who they would want. But I've spoken to a few Arsenal fans. Let's talk about Tierney. He, for me, doesn't play enough games.
He tucks in his shirt.
Yeah, he doesn't play. He doesn't play enough games. But if he did, then maybe, because he's a surefire starter in a way. And then the other one, what Arsenal fans are saying is Gabriel, innit? Because those are the two only right now who will probably be in every 11 if it's your best team they're going to play. So that's the only thing. The Arsenal problem is, who do they give the captaincy to? But those are probably two candidates right there. But you can't have your captain being disciplined publicly twice. How long does it take until you do then? What, he does it again? And then there's like videos of him getting tattoos on the same day. I'm not going to get into all that because I don't know if that's facts.
Or not, yeah.
But fam, for your managers to just comfortably keep coming out like, yeah, there was a disciplinary breach. That's trouble in the water, man.
What I worry about Arsenal is it's very fractious because they're trying this whole, not trying, it's very clear that they're doing 5-year plan, buying young players. The back five is quite young. They've done that. You've got Lacazette, who's coming out of contract. You've got Aubameyang, who the manager's not too sure of. You've got Balogun that doesn't get a look in. You've got Nketiah, who's, I'm sorry, I'm still not convinced. But Martinelli is one of those things. Martinelli's treated like garnish by Arteta. It's like sort of, I'm going to sprinkle you here. Like, let's see if it works. And then you've got your main players that are sort of carrying you. Saka, like we've always said it, and I want to revisit this conversation again, and it's not because of anything, it's not agendas, it's just facts. With Saka's best thing is his application. I've been public about it. I think he would make an amazing fullback. When I see him on the flank, people tell me that he's disposed Pepe. but I don't see enough to be like that's going to be a winger that's going to take us to great heights. You get what I'm coming from?
He gets his assists and stuff.
He gets his things, but you need more. You need more. Do you get what I'm coming from?
If you're going to put your hope and faith on a somebody that age,
you've got a lot to look into. And the thing is, that's a lot for him. Smith-Rowe, that's a lot for him on his shoulders as well.
Up and down, these are young players.
Exactly. Odegaard, another one. Pressure, Madison, this, that. That's a lot of pressure on your young players, your leaders.
They're the youngest team in the Premier League, Arsenal.
Yeah.
They're the youngest team. They're the youngest team.
Yeah, because you know what they're going, but it's like, okay, clearly Auba's not going to be there very soon, and Lacazette's not going to be there soon. I don't know if Arsenal have got the juice.
See, but you see, the thing is, I was just about to say, I don't think.
You reckon he will sit around for as long as he can?
Yeah, bro. I was just about to say, only way Aubameyang can now move is if this they'll never do. You never see that in football. Yeah. Is if he goes to like a China or something where he's gonna get more money. Why would you leave?
Can you check that for me? How long he's got left?
But he signed like probably I think it was like a 3-year deal or something. Was it 3-year deal? Why would you leave Arsenal when you're one of the highest paid player in the Premier League? What's the drive to leave at this stage of your career? What's gonna really motivate you to go and and go and kill it elsewhere? It can only be as if a team in China or something, Qatar or whatever, say they want you. Other than that, you're gonna have to he's just gonna sit, and that's the position that Arsenal have put themselves in. That's a tough position. We've been in this position when it came to, well, now people can say he's having a renaissance or whatever, but with De Gea, it's like he's on bad form. You made him the highest paid player, whatever. What are you gonna do now?
2023.
So they gotta just ride 2 more seasons. So then, if you look at it, what would the motivation for him to be to leave unless he just says, do you know what, I'm going to go and take a pay cut and go to a decent European team and try and do a thing. But clearly signing that contract made him basically say, this is my final career contract. I'm good. Champions League and that clearly is not my ambition because
if it was,
Sanchez got up out of there. Yeah, clearly, Ozil didn't care. Yeah, he signed that contract, and look how hard it was for Arsenal to move Ozil on. Yeah. You've got the example right there, and unfortunately, it's bit you in the arse. Listen. And boy, it's bitten you in the arse.
Do you know what? We've stumbled into a really nice conversation there because I remember Wenger years ago. He was saying that the power in football will change eventually, where players will have the control of their destiny in a way. And he was basically saying that players will run down contracts so they can get big moves, so they can do signings and everything.
Yeah, because fees are too much.
So the example is Lingard. Come back, do a year, get a big signing when you move eventually and everything. Chelsea at the moment is Rudiger saying, listen, give me to 200 racks. If not, I'll leave for free.
Mbappe, biggest one right now.
Biggest one right now.
Dembele is even saying no. They're trying to give him a contract. He's saying no. Bro, he probably doesn't.
What I wanted to ask
might not even like it out there. I don't know.
What I wanted to ask is, do you think it's right that players have that much power, and where do you sit?
Yeah, why not?
Because for me, at the end of the day, I think that you got to look after yourself first and foremost, because when it comes to it, these teams can drop you like it's nothing. So I'm never against anyone going to get their bag. However, does it then throw football into this weird place? Like you said, you've got Aubameyang just chilling and not being productive and everything. Yeah. Where do you sit on it?
I mean, it's a situation. I mean, boy, like, what do you do in them situations? Like, if it's me as a fan, like if there's a player that's like rejected a contract, and he just wants to run down his deal and leave, please take his squad number and tell him we'll see you later. Just let him go. I don't want to see him on the pitch. And this is why which is a good example because we're talking about Arsenal. Nketiah just turned down a deal. He just said he rejected Arsenal's contract. His contract comes up at end of the season. He's coming on the pitch for Aubameyang instead of Balogun, who signed the deal to stay and is being talked about getting sent on loan. He's coming on ahead of Pepe, who's a regular member. This stuff is mind-boggling. As a fan, I'll be furious. I'm trying to say to see that type of stuff. But listen, players are honouring their contract. At the end of the day, clubs are so quick to, like Arteta is doing, you breached the contract, you breached, all of this stuff. They're so quick to do all that type of stuff. So cool, I am honouring my contract. Now you can see it as running it down, but I'm actually honouring my contract. I signed a deal with you guys to Arsenal Football Club, to Chelsea, whatever.
That will be here.
That it says Cam, you will be here for 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm in
It
my
doesn't
5th
say-
year.
It doesn't say I'll perform at my best for 5 years.
And it
I'll
also
just be
doesn't
here.
say. It doesn't also say on the 5th year you must sign a new one. It doesn't say that. It says, Cam, you're here for 5 years.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm honoured it. Now I want to speak to other clubs after 5 years.
And
you can't say nothing to me.
Do you know what's mind-boggling about it? Yeah, because ultimately you sign players to long contracts. So it means that if you want to sell on and everything, you've got liquidity. You can make it sign. If you go to the flip side and be like, you know what, I don't want him to leave. Let me do a young 2-year. That 2-year comes to end. Someone's coming to swipe your like. We're getting to a position now where clubs can't really win anymore.
It's like basketball in a way, though. Basketball, they take the players are in control more time, 90% of the time, and that's just the way the game's gonna go. Because if you are gonna do these fat transfer fees, bro, Mbappe was there. They rejected 220 million. Okay, I'll wind my contract down then. Do you know what I mean? You're not accepting 200 million for me. Yeah. Like, there's nothing I can do. I can go up to you and say, please sell me.
And you can be
like, nah, I don't see the valuable asset in doing that. I don't see that. It doesn't make financial sense. And I have to sit down. So, okay, you lot watch me wind this shit down.
But do you know what's insane? And the reason I bring up here,
straight up,
because obviously with Chelsea, we played Leeds. Rudiger won 2 penalties for us. Rudiger, in terms of his heel turn, this guy has gone from being spun out of his boots by Yarmolenko at West Ham to being like,
where do you stand? What do you think about the Rudiger situation?
This is what I'm going to say.
You want him to stay?
As a fan, you want him to stay.
Yeah,
you then do the maths about the money and everything.
Yeah,
you go, well, we're going to give this Sierra Leonean 200 racks to play centre half for 5 years. That doesn't make sense.
What, he wants a 5-year deal?
I don't know if I think I'm making up 5 years, but he definitely wants, he will blow the wage structure out of the water. And it's like, that's the problem with fan, because you know when you're so fanatic about it and you care and it's like, oh my God, my club, this guy represents my club. You do that one thing, like with Arsenal or Aubameyang, won us the FA Cup, do the contract. What comes after it, you can never be prepared for it.
The thing about it, if I was Chelsea, as good as Rudiger's been, he's been great. But I remember you under Lampard, you average. Now, I see you at Germany, you're average. All right, you're good with Tuchel. Yeah, you're very good with Tuchel. But do I have faith that Tuchel can get another centre-half and make them as good as Rudiger? I do. I'm not making you the highest earner at Chelsea.
The issue,
I'm sorry.
Do you know I agree with it as well?
You can go, mate.
It's because
you're not and this is not that guy.
Like, and
I love Rudiger.
The energy he's bringing is amazing, but at the end of the day, this is where you have to separate the fan hat and the sort of this is business, man. You have to separate because it just skews up everything. Chelsea is a club here where we've had to work so hard to get in a structure in place where we can actually get players for decent prices and get young players. You now give this centre half 200 racks a week. Bro, that is going to kill everything. It's bad enough. Okay, Christensen, you want to go, cool. Thiago, so don't get me wrong. We could be in a situation where
back three. I didn't even think about
that. Yeah, we could be in a situation where we're left with Thiago and Chalobah because Christensen might be going, Dave might be going.
You got that Marlon
Rudiger might be going. Saar will still be around somewhere. But we could be in a situation where it's completely Malango. It could be completely different. But it's one of those things where you have to think about the long term, because how many examples do we have to give in the Premier League? I remember, I love Emmanuel Adebayor. Emmanuel Adebayor was collecting 3 different paychecks from 3 different clubs. He was collecting money from Real Madrid, Arsenal and Man City at the same time because they were giving out loan things and all this type of things. And he's like, listen, I'm just chopping bread. As soon as it got to December, this guy was Ballon d'Or form. He would do what he needs to do, get his contract, that's it. You can't do anything to him.
And the thing is, though, like, careful, man. The thing is, like, I'm sorry, the way I see football, I just do not think centre-backs, I just don't think defenders, defensive midfielders, goalkeepers should ever be the highest paid at a club. I don't care. For me, the highest paid are the goal scorers and the match winners or the magic players. That's it. Rudiger, thanks for the memories. That's what I'll be doing. Because how old is Rudiger?
20... Is he 28, 29?
Is he 28, 29? I thought he was 30.
No, I don't think he's 30 yet.
He's not 30 yet.
No. That's why he's still getting the HD cuts. Like, he's 28.
He's 28.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a decent age, but I wouldn't do it, man.
No, but he's thinking this is my last
paycheck. Exactly.
How old's Lingard?
He's 28, I think.
Lingard, same thing. Lingard's thinking this is my last one. I've got to cash it in. If I sign a 4 year,
is a lot different though. Lingard needs to play. Rudiger is playing. He's winning. He's just won the Champions League. It's different.
Do you know I think
Lingard needs to play football, so it's good that he leaves.
I think Lingard's one was different. I think Lingard's one was from the way I see the situation, it was one of those things where you love the club, you have a connection, you're with a manager that understands the club, you get some false pretenses by him, and it's like, okay, cool. Because for me, there's no sort of mistake that Lingard went to West Ham in that form ready, because he knew that, listen, I've got to make it work. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes to West Ham at the end of the season, or if West Ham put the 10 million down in January to get him early. I think he manufactured this situation perfectly, because he knew that, you know what, I remember what you did to me. I don't have any loyalty to you anymore. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to collect my check. If I play, great, don't get me wrong, I love this club, but I don't have that loyalty I once had, because I saw how the business did me. Do you get where I'm coming from? So I get what you're saying, that he needs to play, and Rudiger's is different because he can walk into almost any club at the moment because of his stock. But Lingard knows that no matter what happens in this situation, he's walking into a club based on that last form.
Nah, good, bruv. Good. So, I like the way Lingard did it. United were trying to play hardball. We want 25 million this summer. I was like, bro, the guy's about to walk into his last year. You guys are buzzing. West Ham would easily just say, brother, sign a contract. Yeah, they'll just say, sit down, bro. Yo, if you can just sit down for a year, you can come. We'll probably make you our highest earner. You're eating good. Then good. From his point of view, I'm happy for him. But
let's talk about.
Got Levi Colwill coming.
Them ones there, what youth? Let's talk about. Let's get into Europe though. Barcelona. Xavi hype. Where's Fuad? Where's Fuad? Fuad was telling us.
What was the score today? I saw they were drawing 1-1. It's over.
Is it over?
I know it was 1-1, and I was just like, bro, come on, man. It's 2-2.
Final score?
2-2 end the score, yeah.
So they're dumped up. What's up?
Shame. Yeah,
they got dumped out the champ. Gotta go 2, yeah? Boy.
Nice.
We won't. They've been dumped out the Champions League for the first time at that stage for 21 years.
Rest in piss. Rest in piss. I'm telling you this right now. I'm happy. I'm happy to see this Barcelona demise, bro. I'm so happy. If any club that it could happen to, obviously other than the close rivals and stuff, but if any team it could happen to, it's Barcelona. Those sins, that UEFA loaner, these sins have finally caught up to them, fam. Years and years of sin
of wickedness.
It'll come back to you one day, bro. So I'm happy to see it, but it just shows what a bad ownership can do to a football club, bro. This was once the example football club for everyone in football.
Style of football, how it was run, how they tracked, the way they treat the fans and everything. And right
academy,
now it's a shithole.
Everything. Now it's what you look at as how not to have a football club. And they've gone down the route of hiring a legend, because at the moment, only a legend would take a job like this. Like only a legend who loves the club. Well, you know, you always forget about that. Yeah, but only a legend who loves the club will come and take this. And it's the best way to keep the fans still believing. Bro, Manchester United right there. It happened to us. It's the best way for your club to kind of believe. What happened when Chelsea were about to go through a bad period? They said, let's bring in Frank Lampard. Let's bring in Oli. Now let's bring in Xavi. Let's bring in Pirlo. Why did these guys never walk into the top teams? Why did none of these ex-players walk into a ready-made, fantastic football club?
Not ready.
Never, because do you know why? Because the board know this is the perfect waiting period. They can wait it out with Xavi because he's gonna pull the heartstrings. You're never gonna want to call. You're never gonna want to say Xavi out. Are you?
Madrid. How did the Zidane thing come again?
He came straight up, but he was this. He was the assistant to Ancelotti.
No, I'm saying, but it was a natural sort of.
Yeah, he went from
a shock? I'm trying to remember. Was it a shock when he got the job? A little bit.
He went from the Castilla to the.
He did it similar to like a Pep.
Yeah, Castilla to assistant,
but people were still a little bit like.
Yeah, of course, it's a gamble. Yeah, it's a gamble.
But it's funny because I mean, after that, well, not that no one's taken the gamble in them, but
who's Zidane?
Yeah,
I don't think Zidane has the motivation. I don't think Zidane. I think Zidane doesn't really. I don't want to say he doesn't care about being a manager, but I think Zidane did
he's done what he wanted to do, innit?
Yeah, he's picky, and I think there's talk about he's going to be France, and that won't surprise me. That just shows that I don't think he really, he really wants to go and do, I mean, he walked into a Real Madrid team, a very good Real Madrid team. Yeah. He was never in charge of the signings. Yeah, he just did his thing. They barely signed in his time there. Yeah. Done his thing, won all these trophies, done that. Yeah. And then it's like, I don't think he wants to walk into like a messy project and have to do this. And because can anyone say, you don't know what Zidane's talent ID is? You don't know what his talent ID is. You don't know what he likes in a player.
No, that's why I'm mentioning it, because he is an example of
of it working out.
But it's very rare.
Rare, bro. You're not
It's
gonna
rare because everything was built in a way that
it was
it should work out.
It was a great. Same with Pep Guardiola. Now, great, best manager ever, whatever you want to say, one of the best managers ever. But
he was very fortunate that he walked into a team that had been together for so long and it had the pieces, and it was just about making sure that
they maximized them.
Yeah.
But they had Xavi, they had Iniesta. Messi had just finished second in the World Player of the Year. Messi was not an academy boy. He was still the second best player in the world.
Messi had gone through what? Frank Rijkaard and all them, man. He received the anointing from Ronaldinho.
He knew what exactly. So he walked in, he had Puyol. He walked into a good team that needed touching, but he had Eto'o, he had Henry, he had a good team. Zidane, he walked into prime. He walked into prime Cruz,
and this
prime
is not
Modric,
taking
prime
anything
Ronaldo.
away from their management, but
No,
it's just like
not.
it's very different when you walk into a good scenario.
Exactly, it's not the scenario that Pirlo walked into at Juventus, or what Xavi's walking into, or what Oli walked into, or what Lampard walked into, Arteta. Yeah. This is different. These clubs are not being protective of their legends, if you want to call it. But yeah, man, there's different cases. You're not just going to walk into a Zidane and Xavi like that because your infrastructure is terrible. They walked into good infrastructures. You can't just magically think it's going to turn around. It's such a silly thought process, bro. Like, honestly.
But again, maybe it's just that whole
like maybe Gerrard might work out at Liverpool if it happens, depending on where Klopp leaves them. That's the nice position to walk into. I doubt Klopp is going to leave Liverpool and Liverpool are going to be 8th. Struggling, not knowing what's going on. I doubt it highly. He's probably going to leave them as a solid top 4 club. Gerrard, now you add your pieces and let's see.
To be fair,
that's what you want to see.
What you've mentioned now is the issue for me, because I feel like Gerrard will eventually take that job. I feel like in the background they're preparing that gradually. You know when you can't make things too obvious, but it's like maybe like monthly phone calls. So how you doing at Villa? You're right. You good? I think they're doing that. I think where my issue is...
How's Karen, the tea lady? She all right?
You're dumb.
How's Karen?
I think the issue I have with it is what we've got used to a Liverpool cycle where they're competing for the top. We've said that they've maximized resource and Klopp has, done it in a way that has been really good. They've gone from nowhere to being a 4-year cycle of competing. We know that those cycles don't last forever. And I don't know whether Gerrard comes into a time where okay, we're not challenging for number 1. 2 and 3 works. I don't know if the fans are going to be disgruntled by that because they're going to be so used to being in and around it. They've only dropped out of it once in the 4-year cycle. They're back up there right now. I don't know in 2 years' time whether Klopp with the pieces and everything and the infrastructure they've got leaves in a place for Gerrard to continue doing that.
But I think the thing is, Liverpool fans are very aware of FSG. They're not blinded by this. They know. Liverpool fans know Klopp is doing the mad thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They know it. And even if Gerrard comes, and let's say even Salah stays, it's not going to be this Salah. It's not going to be peak Salah. It's not. Mane is going to be gone. Firmino is going to be gone.
2 years from now.
Hendo's probably going to be gone. It's going to be different. It's probably not going to be peak Van Dijk or whatever. But it's just about, will he be left
2 years after a bad knee?
That's what I'm saying. Will he be left in a situation where they're a solid top 4 club and he's got to go and do whatever? The thing is, Liverpool fans know though. Like, I'm sure Liverpool fans know that with FSG in charge, there is an expiry date on this. Cap is the better word. There is a cap on this.
How far you can go?
Amazing period for them. You know what I mean? They come on, man. You got to know that.
I'm tempted to say I think Liverpool actually have the most understanding fans. They never get onto managers. Like they're like,
boy,
you know how
Roy Hodgson
Chelsea
days, I was there.
No, but to be fair, I feel like they're the most loyal fan base and the most like reasonable.
They say the manager will never walk alone.
Giving the manager time. Like the way Chelsea move, the way Arsenal move, the way Man United move. I gotta be honest, I don't think Liverpool fans actually move like that. I feel like they're the most like community type of club.
They're like I get what you're saying. They are like a kind of like a
it's a good flag, but
family club.
But do you know where it stems from? You have to remember, that Liverpool went through a lot of years of failure. Let's not pretend like all them Gerrard years and that, the Champions League and whatnot. Liverpool were failing for a long time, Liverpool were failing for Rodgers' years. They were failing. These men have been failing. So when you get someone that turns turns water into wine, no matter what happened last year, you've got to be patient. You can't turn on Klopp. You get. No, but Gerrard's different.
Even
Gerrard
he'll have the best.
Gerrard will have a long time.
I don't think they'll turn him, but what I'm saying is the expectation of where they think they deserve to be. Like, when the whole last year happened. And they were like, oh, this, that. We're like, listen, this is where you used to be. Like, you guys are acting like you've been at the top of the world.
Yeah, I think by the time that time comes, and especially with what will probably come out, and depending on where their squad is, this is a golden period. This is, they have. Do you think? Yeah, I'm not saying Salah is Ronaldo, but they have their, like, they have what we had in 08 right now. Like, an hour period of 06 to like 11. Like, that was like the pinnacle of shit. Yeah, I mean, we knew after that.
This is,
when Rio's back was going and Vidic was there and Evra was doing, we knew. Oh, damn.
This is
it's gonna get peak out here, bro.
This is and it has perfect sort of segue on this year. I won't make it too hypothetical, but we know that Guardiola is not going to be at City forever. We know that Chelsea always going to do what Chelsea are doing. We know that the City, the sort of United foundation of what we're not too sure. In terms of, we said that this is City's sort of era, right? We're saying it's what, 3 titles in 4 years, stuff like that. Where do we think the future of the Premier League is going to go with sort of those factors, man? Liverpool, this is a golden era that might end, but they might re it up. United being United, Chelsea doing...
Depends how long you're talking, though.
Let's say the next...
the time frame is...
Let's 4-year window.
Probably Man City.
You reckon City for the next 4 years?
I don't think City will win the next 4 titles, no.
But you're saying that they're the one constant that's definitely
City there. And I can never really write off Chelsea because just Chelsea are just Chelsea and they got the money and they got a great owner. United, we're always going to have the finances, but are we going to... It's still question marks. Liverpool, I do think eventually FSG is gonna get to them, and they're going to have to do a squad turnover soon. And let's just see how it manages. Now, it could go well. If Klopp stays there, I'd say Liverpool are still going to be in and around. Liverpool are going to potentially still win titles. But it really depends on that for me. Whereas I think Pep can leave. They can bring in another manager. Will he be Pep and win everything that Pep wins? Probably not, because that's just Pep. But can he win a league? Yeah. I've seen Pellegrini win a league. I've seen Mancini win a league. Do you know what I mean? Can he win a league? Yeah, I do think they have got such a good infrastructure. They can. Chelsea, I've seen 13 managers in my lifetime at Chelsea. You've won every single... not every single time, but you know what I mean? Most of them have won now.
Bounce back,
So you two are the ones that I can say, cool. But then United, you just don't know. Liverpool, just don't know. Arsenal, come on. And then...
If you go through that
Spurs and
if you go for that Premier League winners, you see that sort of like the United Arsenal sort of thing, United Chelsea, United City,
Liverpool.
Then it was City Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right now it's City Liverpool.
Yeah.
I want to know what the next thing is. Obviously, we can't see in the future. That's why I say it's hypothetical, but there's gonna be something that's gonna happen.
There's always somebody that comes. There's always somebody that comes and goes, bro. There's always gonna.
Someone's got to go. That's what I'm saying. Someone's got to go.
Bro, let's see.
You can't remain there.
Let's see what happens.
City right now are doing what you.
Boy, Ralph. Once Ralph starts in the boardroom,
listen. City are doing what? You know when United were just constantly there, like you would have
City will
United, Chelsea. I think City are going to be that for maybe the next
team.
5-6 years. It's about who's going to be going toe to toe with them and dropping in and out. That's crazy.
That's just the way football is. But what was that? There was that. We said something about Haaland.
Haaland. Let's talk about him. They're saying that he's going to.
He's even linked with City.
That's a perfect.
Yeah.
They're saying that he's going to City. Well, they're saying that there's 4 clubs he could potentially go to. They're saying City, Barcelona, Madrid, and Bayern. If you're him, where are you going and where?
Well, I'm definitely not going Barcelona.
Boy.
I will go to Man City. I'll go to Man City if I was him. He's already got an affiliation with the club, obviously. And his dad's ain't no legend, but he's played there. You know what I'm saying? He's already got affiliation. He grew up. He was born in Leeds. I would go with City because again, I get the opportunity to play for the best manager in the game at the moment. A team that's primed to win stuff now. I'm already familiar. They can probably pay me the most as well. Premier League is the strongest league in the world. It is. I would go to Manchester City. It makes the most sense. You look at Real Madrid, which is, I think they're going to come back soon. They got Mbappe coming through. I think they might even grab Pogba on a free. They want Rudiger on a free. They know what they're moving. Side Camavinga is that they're moving quietly. You know what I'm saying? Would I go there? Potentially, because for me, I don't care. I'm a Man United fan, but I don't care. My dream is to play for Real Madrid, bro. I don't care. Real Madrid are the dream club of football. So I do understand that. So those would be my 2 top options. Do I want to just be like, yo, everyone's talking about me and you, Mbappe as like rivalry. Why don't we just go bat it up and just win everything? You know what I mean? Like maybe, you never really know. But for me, I would go Man City. I just think it's the best move for now because Real Madrid are one club that will always come back. Your superstar status can be whatever. Real Madrid are coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not going to go to, I'm sorry, Real Madrid are just the biggest club in football. I'm not going to go to Real Madrid and if from Real Madrid be like, do you know what? My dream now is to go to Man City. It's not. I could be at Man City, bad it up for 5 seasons,
and then go to Madrid
and
afterwards.
dip off to Madrid, and yeah, I'm a glad.
And you can go to Madrid old as well.
So I'll
you
go
can
there.
go to Madrid old. Like we've seen people do it. Fam, remember when Adebayo got to Madrid?
Right, that was a dream. Him and Essien.
Fam,
Hey,
he was laughing.
Jose was just granting wishes, bro. Jose was
He was
just
doing make a
shouting
wish.
out his homeboys, like
He was doing make a wish.
literally,
Nah,
bro.
with me, I
Adebayo
feel like,
bagged like 4 goals or something. Give him some credit, bro.
you see what you mentioned. You mentioned this
Ramos
Mbappe
and
thing.
Ronaldo love him.
It's fair to say that in terms of the next duel, the next generation, it's going to be this Mbappe Haaland thing. It's natural, right? They're both sort of the big icons of football. When I think about Haaland, being in Germany and everything, I always feel like his superstardom isn't quite there. Do you get me?
Yeah,
Because
lots come into that though.
Huh?
Lots come into
Lots of it comes into it, but if you're in Dortmund and like, I'm not seeing him have like, again, it's the small things. I'm not seeing him have like a franchise boot. I actually don't know. I think he's with Nike. I actually don't know who he's actually with, who he's repping. Like Mbappe's gone poster boy of the World Cup and everything. He has to position himself. I feel like if he comes to the Premier League, he can be the poster boy of the Premier League. He can be this guy that bads it up. We kind of move away from this Harry Kane thing that they tried to push for a little while and tried to put him on the posters and everything. You get someone that's young and fresh, you get on coming from that. And I feel like with him, even though that's probably not his aim, that's what goes down to it, man. When we were talking about the whole Messi Ronaldo thing, Ronaldo knew why he had to go to Madrid. He knew that. Listen, if I want to quash Messi, I have to go out there and show that. Listen, I have to do battle with him. So I think his move has to be somewhere where he can't just be prosperous in terms of winning stuff, but it's about his image as well. And I think to a certain extent, Madrid definitely gives that, but you can do Madrid later. Similar to literally what Ronaldo did. I do United, go Madrid,
But you know what? Yeah,
go Juve. I think Haaland's career will kind of be like that.
A lot of the
he'll just
times,
sit in one place.
I think though, a lot of the times, when you got these kind of poster boys or whatever, they give you either that feel sight, you know what I mean? They give you that feeling about football. Yeah, some of them guys, so Zidane's and stuff, like he was doing his Adidas thing, Beckham, but let's be honest as well, a lot of it comes down to if you're good looking or not. And Haaland's not good looking, bro. He's not good looking, bro. Like, I mean, Beckham, Ronaldo, these guys, Messi gives you that feeling. Haaland, does Haaland give you that feeling when you watch football?
No, but
he doesn't give me that feeling. He just a goal scorer.
Into a persona, and I feel like if you're at Dortmund, like Sancho, they really tried to make sure Sancho still had a persona out there, because out there you're out of sight, out of mind. Let's be real.
But Sancho's a good looking lad.
No, but what I'm saying is away from that, the persona, like people like, Kenneton from London, they could build a narrative. With Haaland, it's like, fam. With him, it's like Scandinavian. His dad. They wrecked his dad.
They're trying to bring this like cyborg.
Yeah, like
it's like Kawhi Leonard. They try to build this like he's a cyborg. Yeah, but it's like is he got that about him too?
And the thing is, because when I see small things like him with, the chatting shit, the stuff, there's something there, but I feel like you have to be in the right sort of scenario. And now that I say
he's got a weird personality.
How many people at Man City have really flourished in terms of personality? That I can't think of anyone. City's a very dull club.
Their biggest marketing ability is not even, it's Oasis. Bro, it's Oasis. That's the biggest draw to Man City, bro.
Sorry, bro. So let's look at the KDB thing. Okay, KDB, cool. Grealish right now, they're trying to make Grealish the poster boy of the league. Everyone's wearing the tops and everything.
Profile would have been bigger at Villa, bro.
You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of who else.
It's like, mad.
When I look at like players from Man City and I'm trying to think of profiles, they're
not that club. Sterling is like the most probably.
Sterling's doing it off his own. Like man had to get clothing label, man had to join New Balance. He's doing it off his own. So
you're saying all that,
but that's not a motivation.
You're saying all that, But doesn't the best destination, if you're gonna do that, ain't it Barcelona? Because if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, then you just have Messi and Ronaldo 2.0. That's the biggest marketing.
You're right.
Before when Barcelona were decent,
in a good place,
when
I would say
Barcelona
yes.
Decent, I was saying I want them to do that and revive their El Clasico.
But where Barcelona are right now,
all it could potentially
Treacherous.
do, bro. If Mbappe goes and starts badding up trophies and that, and then
then
Haaland
Mbappe
is
is
scoring
there.
his 30th season, but Barcelona are doing up
Looks
fourth.
treacherous.
They'll come back.
But it's
Barca,
like
I'm worried.
If you
Production-
get Haaland,
no.
come on. They're
No,
gonna
production-
come back.
Have they got the
Production,
money?
you're right.
Have
No,
they-
no, no.
Wait, hold on. Have they got the money? Have they got the money to actually? It's free, but they ain't got the money to even pay them wages.
La Liga.
There's
La
always a
Liga
loophole.
gonna push something
There's always a
like that.
loophole. There's always a
Bring them
loophole.
back.
But the thing is, what we're talking about is Haaland ready to go for that 1 year of suffering for a potential career of fruitfulness when they get it right? Because I don't think Barcelona will be able to switch it on
Don't
next
forget,
season. already.
don't forget, Real Madrid were whacked when Cristiano Ronaldo went there. They done a Galacticos rebuild.
it's true,
They
yeah.
lost 4-0 to Liverpool in the Champions League.
When
the
did
season
Kaka go?
before.
'Cause
They were the same season.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Real Madrid was meaty before Thingy came, because I think Liverpool battered them 4-0. Didn't Benitez win the league with Valencia? And then went Liverpool. Because Real Madrid finished at third.
You know what?
Don't forget that. They weren't big
If
dogs before Ronaldo
Barcelona
came.
could give the right reassurances for the reasons I'm saying about brand and everything, it makes sense. I just don't know. Barcelona in a
La
real
Liga's the
shithole
best
right now.
league. Let's be honest. If you're talking about club branding,
Yeah.
La Liga's the best because that El Clasico branding is
Yeah,
Yeah,
different.
but that's two clubs. I think the Premier League is still, because I still think the Premier League,
not
because the
City,
Premier
though.
League has the most viewership. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does have the most viewership. I think it's got the most money in the game.
Yeah.
The clubs are the biggest. Like, you
The
still.
point you're making
I
is
think.
right,
I
though.
think I
You're
do
right.
get the El Clasico aspects of things.
Okay,
Right,
it's the
that would be
biggest game in
sick.
football.
Yeah, no, that is the biggest game. Well, when it was, but I just think, right now, Man City is a much better footballing option than Barcelona. You're from a marketing point of view, like how you're talking, that's interesting side of things. But for me, am I going to
football.
get my bread? Where am I getting most of my bread? I'm going to get my wages from City, and I'm going to have a better opportunity to win things at City. For me, I'm going there. Barcelona, everything else, Real Madrid, everything else, maybe. But if I'm Haaland, I don't know if I would want to play with Mbappe anyway. I want that
Barcelona
rivalry to
is a-
exist forever.
Barcelona's a
I'm going
bold
to-
move. It's a bold move to do.
But it's
You have
kind of
to be
just
so
copying
sure.
Messi and Ronaldo. You know what I mean? And the thing is, Messi and Ronaldo, listen, it's people need to accept Messi and Ronaldo.
We'll never
It's
see
once
anything like
in
this
a
again.
lifetime, man.
What did Martin Tyler say? I swear you'll never see anything like this
Bro,
ever again.
and like Messi and Ronaldo were not just Messi and Ronaldo. Do you know they're running their cast?
They had the casting
mate,
act, yeah, they had the
was
casting act.
Xavi,
Yeah.
Iniesta, Busquets.
Look at
But
Barcelona.
bro,
Look at the pieces Barcelona have. They got
What,
the
Depay?
Pedri, Gavi,
Oh,
pie.
hype.
The
And
pie.
they got a lot to justify until then. They got a lot to justify till then.
They've got a cast of young players
What's the- what?
that they can run it
Vinicius.
fast.
But they got a lot. They got.
Rodrigo. It's not the same. It's
That's
not the
Real
same.
Madrid. That's Real Madrid. Barcelona don't have that though.
Gavi, Fati, Pedri.
We have to see what they're gonna become.
Listen,
bro. We can't put
It's a
them now.
big,
We
it's
can't
a
put
big
them now,
gamble.
bro.
It's a.
Talents.
I understand the thinking, but it's a big gamble.
You can't
listen,
put them now,
it's a,
bro.
listen, let us know what you think though. That's a really interesting sort of. Let us know what you think. But listen, quick one: champs and duds. I think champ Raheem Sterling. I can't think of any more. I'm going to give Rudiger champ. Watching that performance here, there's no centre half should.
Max Verstappen.
No, you can give him a champ.
Champ.
You know, first touch.
He's burning a
First
life.
fam. It hurt,
Max
but he deserves
Verstappen
it.
now. Big up Hamilton, man.
Yeah.
That was all. The flipping F1 is a dud, mate. After I'm not involved. You can probably get into that more. But after what everyone's been saying, I was
don't
sitting
even
in some.
wanna go into it.
I was sitting in pit stop Fracker's little thing.
The room, yeah.
Bro, everyone was going
Yeah,
nuts.
it
I was
was-
listening. I was learning, man.
I was fuming.
Interesting.
I was fuming still.
Yeah, he'll go
but,
back for 8 next year, innit?
nah,
Confirm
real
the
talk.
GOAT thing.
Duds, Jimenez.
Oh, it's gotta be. Yeah, that was brainless, bruv.
Jimenez
People are
is a
saying the CTE kicked in. Oh no, bruv. That's what, people said that. I don't know if that's. I don't know about that. I don't condone that. I don't condone that one. Very one thing. I don't condone that one still. But that's what people are saying still.
like, share, subscribe, follow the individual socials. There will be no delay with the audio or the visuals this week because no one came late. Cough, cough, Fuad. Thank you for joining us. I bid you fair due. I don't even know what to say, bro. What man said.
I don't condone that. You get
that
me?
was a mad
That's a
one
serious Aaron
But he's
Rodriguez.
a dud. Everton are duds.
What's his name? Aaron Rodriguez in NFL. Serious case. Serious case. Is it
Everton,
Aaron Rodriguez?
Everton are duds.
Aaron Rodriguez.
You know what? Chelsea got my 50 dud because that Champions League second place he might come back and kill them.
That Champions League second place is
Chelsea
No,
are
do you know
leaky now, man.
Listen,
Chelsea
I've
leaky.
got something here. Chelsea fans are duddery, and I'll explain why. They want Lukaku on the right. They want Mount in midfield.
This is just like Man United.
They're making up so many scenarios, but not addressing the fact that Chelsea have an issue that we can't make everything work. And like I've said it so long, we haven't found a way to make it work. But they want to do everything. You know when you're just trying to find
But to be fair, 2 points off when you ain't making it work.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said development. But it's just so funny that how can we had to rely on Rudiger winning 2 penalties? Do you know how funny that is? Rudiger won 2 penalties.
Yeah.
Leeds are duds for that.
Click is a dud.
No, Leeds are duds. Because I don't understand why is seeing Rudiger in your box such a scary thing that you're going to foul him twice? Antonio Rudiger. Not Gary Cahill. Not, their centre halves that they're silky when they're in there. Antonio Rudiger.
I said it. He's the most entertaining player in the Barclays, mate.
Biggest hill in Barclays.
Entertainer in the Barclays, mate.
Listen,
but we're going to talk about a few things because people have been over things. But another day.
There's a lot loading still.
lot of things
We'll
that
talk
I got
about the Ralph
loading,
stuff
boy.
as well because United reactions to that is funny.
Set
They say
out.
that-
But before we finish, Leicester's my dad as well. Chelsea was just a mid.
Oh,
To
yeah,
get
they
kicked
got
out of
knocked
the
out of Europe,
Europa
bro.
And then turn around and say, I don't know
I don't know
what
what trophy
competition
is.
this is. You're done.
I've got another one as well. Fuad Kadani. He's
Why?
my dad. Because when we were speaking, it was imperative that they won the Conference League.
Yeah.
And they've basically been kicked out.
Wait, are they out now? Yeah.
They're not going to get to replay the match. They're out. They can't replay that match.
Oh, that's crazy.
They
What's
can't
it caused? Because of snow.
No,
that was
COVID.
the COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're getting kicked out. Yeah. So they still can't win the
They can't
silverware.
win.
That is an ultimate L, bruv.
On that bombshell, next week.